It's Real Estate Roddy, and I just jumped out the porch with Dirty Glove Bastard.
Pocket full of Rizx, about to go and get some more today. When you doing bitch, get little nigga, they so.
All right, today we got Real Estate Roddy jumping off the porch with us today.
What's happening, bro?
How you feeling today, gang?
I'm good, man. I appreciate you having me.
For sure, man. We appreciate having you on the porch with us today.
For sure, for sure.
So let me ask you this, right?
Yes, sir.
How was 2021 for you?
Man, 2021 it probably was my best year. Basically, like, every year I'm getting better and better. So last year was crazy. I got a lot done. My son was born last year. That's my first kid. So last year was like crazy.
That's real. So how important is fatherhood to you?
Man, that's like the most important thing. That's what all this hustling be about. You know what I'm saying? Take care of the family. Watch my boy grow up, give him things that I ain't have, teaching stuff I ain't knowing shit like that.
I respect that. So how 2022 looking for you?
Man, 2022 crazy, bro. I already done popped the year off. I'm flipping the house right now. So next week I'm posting. I list that one for sale. I'm buying another house right now, buying some land to do a new build. So we got a lot of motion going on already. Top of the year.
That's real.
Yeah.
So that's that real estate talk for people who wouldn't even know. Like my boy's sitting on the porch, he's not no rapper, he's a real estate agent.
No, I ain't no agent though.
No agent.
I ain't no agent, I'm a real estate investor.
Investor.
For sure.
What's the difference?
Agents, they pretty much, you know what I'm saying, buying and they help you buy a house or sell a house. I'm flipping houses, I'm a landlord, so I do all of that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So how did you end up entering this business, man?
So I got in real estate, really I started learning it back in 2017, just learning, hustling, kind of teaching myself a little something here and there. And then 2018, I bought like 3 houses in February, and I just been rolling there since.
So how hard would you say it is to venture into the real estate?
It's hard. I wouldn't say it's hard, but you gotta lock in. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta figure out like what's gonna work for you, cause a lot of times people watch other people and they listen to how somebody else did something, and then they'll try to go and do it exactly like that person. But you gotta find your niche, what's gonna work for you.
Yeah.
I got a balance line, like, so I done figure out my little niche and I'm just rolling.
For sure. So for somebody who's watching this interview right now, what's the first piece of advice you would give them?
About real estate?
Yeah.
So the first advice I give somebody would be to learn, you know what I'm saying, self-education, what you do on your own time when ain't nobody around, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, whether it's like Googling or following the right people that you need to follow, reading, stuff like that.
That's
all
real.
That stuff important, man.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So for those who wouldn't know, how would you describe life back at home in Augusta?
All right, so back at home in Augusta, man, to be honest, bro, it's crazy now. Like, it's really crazy right now. We just had, like, top of the year, we just had, like, little kid get murdered, little 8-year-old girl, she get murdered. Shout out to her father, Ott. And I actually just lost my cousin, you feel me? And that shit crazy. So, but we here though, and that was like last week, my cousin just got killed. But long live Ray Ray, you know what I'm saying?
That's real.
Yeah.
So when would you say you jumped off the porch?
To be honest, bro, like, I know like people look at me and what I do, and then you kind of like just see a cool kid, but to be honest, like, I've been off the porch my whole life. Like, I was born at the hospital, went straight to the projects, and I was running projects like ever since I can walk. Ever since I remember, I ain't never been on the porch.
Yeah.
For sure.
Let's go. So let's speed things up a little bit, right? You did the self-educating thing. You realized that you want to venture into this business. What's the first thing you did? And what's the first piece of property you bought?
The first property I bought was in my hood. I'm from the bottom, so that was my first one. So I bought that one like the beginning of February, and then I ended up buying like 2 more houses the end of that month. So that was like the first thing I did. So when I bought those, I became a landlord. I was just renting those out, and that's how I started, like just doing rentals like that.
That's cold.
Yeah.
For somebody, like again, because I'm really interested in real estate too. So like, say it like this, I'm interested in this shit, right? How much money do I need to start up to get into this shit?
Man, really, you can do it with no money. You know what I'm saying? You can start. It's stuff you can do with when you ain't got no money. Like you can cold call, like, and that's basically like calling potential people that might just want to sell their house, but you got to get their information through like another site or something like that. You can get that and you can start cold calling. You know what I'm saying? That's free. You can do that. With a little bit of money, you can buy signs. You know, put some signs out letting people know that you might be interested in buying some houses or something like that. So you can start with no money, but I guess that's like, it's harder that way though. You know what I'm saying? It's harder that way. But if you don't got no money, then you need credit. You feel me? Like you gotta have good credit. You gotta have something going on. So that's how I started. I ain't have a lot of money, but I had good credit. But when I started real estate, I've been making money ever since. You know what I'm saying?
So your first flip, was it a success?
My first flip? Yeah, I ain't missed yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just getting ready to ask, have you experienced any mishaps so far?
Yeah, always, bro. Like, I always got the mishaps. But the thing is, like when you doing this shit, it's like you gonna take losses all the time, but they ain't really losses.
Yeah.
I can't remember who said that. Gotti was saying that. But that's true though, like you gonna take losses, but ain't losses, like them really just lessons, and you just, you know, figure out, work the kinks out and just keep it rolling.
Yeah, that's real.
But yeah, I ain't took no like big financial loss or nothing crazy. Like I've been killing it. Like I ain't gonna lie, I've been going up.
For sure. So besides Augusta, where are some other property that you got in other places?
Right now I'm trying to buy one in Bournville, South Carolina. So I went down there, like it's an hour away from my city. So I went down there about 3 days ago, and I'm trying to buy a house out there to flip.
That's real.
Yeah, it's a little flip.
So how do you eyeball a good investment? Like how do you know which house is a good investment and which one isn't?
Location. You gotta be the right location. Like I don't really buy nothing that I know ain't gonna be easy to sell, cause I know once I put my spin on it, if it's in the right location, it's gonna go. So like I got my I pretty much do all my own renovations with me and my crew, my little team I got, and we've been turning up. So if it's in the right location, that's it, it's gone. Like that's the easy part.
That's hard.
Yeah.
So at what age did you enter the real estate game?
I was 24 when I bought the first house.
For sure.
Yeah.
And at what age did you realize, okay, I'm having my way in this shit?
Shit, last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, last year. Cause I'm full entrepreneur. Like I ain't got no job. I'm my own boss. You know what I'm saying? So, I just been turning it up. And like I said, I'm just blessed for the most part. I'm blessed, but I do work hard though. I go hard for sure, every day.
For sure. And you're also a hustler as well.
Oh yeah, now my boy.
Would you say his music motivated you into your hustle mentality?
At first, I started diving into Nip. It wasn't necessarily the music. It was just like what he stood for as a man. You know what I'm saying? Like as an entrepreneur. But then and then getting into his music, is like all of the shit made sense. Like so, I followed him a lot. So when he died, it was weird to me. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy. I felt like I knew him.
So what happened once you flew out to LA to pay homage to, you know what I'm saying, somebody you look up to?
Yeah, so last month, December, I had flipped the house and I bought a house. So I was like, I'm gonna take me a little quick trip before I start on this next flip that I'm about to sell I'm about to list next week. So doing that, I went out to LA, the parlay, and I wanted to go check the store out and stuff
Marathon
like that.
Stuff.
Yeah, so I was really moving around the city. I did a little podcast out in LA for real estate, so I was just moving around.
So what did you encounter once you was moving around?
All right, so I went to the Marathon store. Online they said that jank open. It ain't really open. It's still shut all the way down. So I went over there with my Uber, and then they ended up trying to take my chain, man. Yeah.
They try to rob you at the marathon store.
Not at the store. So since the store closed down, they got this little joint on the side where you can still shop. So once I got there, I was like, you know, I'm here, and his people was out there with merch. So I was like, I'm still shop with his folks. You know, they're still supporting his community. So I was gonna do that. And doing that, man, I had spent a couple $100, and I guess I wasn't there long, but I guess they kind of like scoped me out because I was by myself. They scoped me out, and they just thought they had a little easy lick. So it was like some strong arm type stuff, you know. But his homeboy, Cowboy, his name Cowboy, he was there, and he was smoking just right where I was, whatever. So when dude came up on me, he was just, you know, talking, politicking, and he was just like saying something about my chain when he walked up. But I was just thinking I didn't know what Holmes was saying. But I'm thinking, when I heard him say something about my chain, I thought he was saying like, I need to put it up because other dudes was, you know what I'm saying, watching me and shit like that. But that wasn't the case. So I had just went to tuck it just off GP. I'm on Crenshaw and Slauson. I'm just tuck it just off GP. I'm trying to get back. And he was like, nah, don't tuck it. Get it up. And then that ended up, his homeboy Cowboy ended up seeing what was going down, told him chill out, shit like that. And he ended up walking me out of the little hole I was in. He walked me out back on Slauson. And we get back on Slauson, and they still, you know what I'm saying, trying to run down on me, you know, these real 60 Crips, you know. And I ended up having to draw down on them to get up out of there.
That's crazy. So what type of taste did that leave in your mouth knowing that you was coming to pay your respects and then it ended off in a bad result?
To be honest, bro, like, I ain't gonna say I respect it, but I understand it, cause niggas hungry, you know what I'm saying? Like, and you see this nigga by himself with a chain on, like, you know, it's Christmas time, you know what I'm saying? You trying to feed your family. I understand it, but I don't respect it. And I don't respect it cause I'm a hustler, you know what I'm saying? I work hard for my shit, so I ain't just gonna get nothing up nobody, you know what I'm saying? This shit means something to me.
I feel that.
Yeah.
So you get back to Augusta and you work on the next flip. What does it take to flip a house exactly? You know what I'm saying? Like, what all goes into flipping a house?
Shit, man, when you flipping them houses, man, you gotta have, it's a lot you gotta know. So you gotta make sure the numbers make sense first. So the numbers gotta make sense. It's just like the dope gang. I tell anybody that asks me, it's just like selling drugs. You buy low, sell high. Basically, you know, you find a house for a good price, in a good location, and then after that, you see how much it's gonna take to get it up to where it need to be. So it might be 10,000, it could be 60,000, it could be 100. It don't matter, you know. If the number's right though, then you straight. You see what your profits is, and then you run it that way. And then after that, what you want to do is just make sure you do all your due diligence. You know what I'm saying? With the making sure you put the right paint, the right flooring. You doing the kitchens. You checking the HVAC, all that good stuff like that. I go all the way through my houses.
Yeah.
Everything be jam tight.
So, what are some of the things that you will encounter while flipping a house, or like say you bought an investment property?
Yeah.
You finna flip it. You find out like, okay, the AC might be fucked up or the roof might be fucked up. Would you consider that a loss, or would you consider that a part of the flip once it's time to, you know what I'm saying, put it on the market?
Yeah, so it's pretty much, it can be a loss if you ain't paying attention. So that's why I say you gotta do your due diligence. Before I even buy a house, I always get an inspection. So I can expect myself because I took the class. I know what's going on. I'm in houses all the time, but I still get somebody else to come that I know that's a real inspector. This what he do. I get him to, you know, check the I think it's like my little top 5 is the foundation, the HVAC, the water heater, the electrical, and the plumbing. So all them check out, everything else cosmetic. You know what I'm saying? That's flooring, paint, just make it look pretty.
Yeah, that's real.
So yeah, you gotta check them 5 right there. you might need HVAC. That might run you about 4,500, 5 bands, depends, you know. But water heaters, you know, you got to know the numbers yourself a little bit. But those the main things right there that's gonna slow you up.
For sure. So what's some of the things that you learned along this whole journey that you would like apply to somebody that's watching you? Like what's some of the advice you would give somebody that's watching what you're doing that, you know what I'm saying, started from when you started?
Yeah.
What's some advice you'll give a young nigga?
The first advice I give is don't try to do what I do. You gotta do what work for you. You feel me? Cause I'm working my move. This my move I'm working. I ain't on watching nobody else. I'm working my move. So, and I think people get caught up in that right there. Like you see somebody doing it, you just wanna mimic them and do exactly what they doing. But you gotta just find out what's working for you.
Yeah.
Cause everybody got a different amount of money. Everybody got different credit. Everybody got different hustle. All that shit count, you know. And you gotta find your strengths and your weakness, and you gotta just do what makes sense for you.
I feel that. What would you say was the biggest win you seen on the house and the biggest L you seen on the house?
The biggest win is probably the last one I flipped, like December. That was my biggest win. And what was crazy, like last year I bought my first crib. Last year was just crazy, but that last flip was one of the biggest though, cause I went all the way through it and I sold it for way more than I thought I was. It was turned up.
That's horrible.
But yeah, but it just get better and better, bro. Like it's just getting better and better, you know, with time and learning more and moving around and more people coming. So really I was just doing like maybe 1, 2 flips here and there at a time, but now I'm down there working on 4 deals right now, you know what I'm saying? So it's getting crazy.
That's cold. So what's the biggest L you seen on the house?
I ain't seen no L's though.
Oh, it's the biggest lesson. There you go. What's the biggest lesson you learned on the house?
The biggest lesson I done learned, bro, was dang, that's a good question. The biggest lesson. That's a hard one, bro. It's hard. It's only hard because I kind of be going into all this stuff knowing that it ain't gonna go. Yeah, it ain't gonna go how I want it to go.
Yeah.
So, but that can be something as simple as closings being pushed back. You know what I'm saying? Usually a house of closing, like you want to do like a month. It might take 2 months, 2 months and a half or something like that. So that'll slow your money up. But when you waiting it, okay, so that's the lesson right there. I say like cause I'm always all in. So throughout the year, I might be in the hole sometime like 3 or 4 times during the year. That's just because I'll put everything into what I'm doing. So I might be waiting to get my money out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's one of the biggest things for me though. But that's cool. You know, that would come with it.
Right. So you basically saying you only see net after closing type shit.
What you mean by that?
Like net, like straight net, gross net after closing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel you on that.
Oh yeah.
That's
I mean,
good.
but I'm still making money. You know what I'm saying? Cause
Yeah.
I do everything. I got rental property. I do contractor work for other people. As far as like renovating, I just flipped the whole house for somebody last month. She getting ready to sell that joint now. I think she closed next February 4th or something. So I just flipped the whole house for her. Went all the way through it. So that's what I got going on now.
That's real. So would you recommend somebody entering and venturing into real estate?
Yeah, I think so because like I think this is #1 business because everybody needs somewhere to stay.
Exactly.
And everybody need a box. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everybody gotta have that. So it ain't gonna stop. It ain't going nowhere. And depends on where you at. Like it's just gonna keep growing. Like houses that I bought 2018 doubling now. Like, and it's crazy. It's crazy how that worked, but it's cool though. But that was something when I first got into it. I was kind of not knowing how it was gonna work out because I ain't know nobody that did it. So I just went for what I knew. You know what I'm saying? And that shit doubling now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So which one would you say you have better chances at being successful? A rapper or flipping houses?
Shit. Flipping houses?
Yeah.
I say flipping houses. Cause we got enough rappers, you know what I'm saying? I mean, if you can go now, that's different.
Yeah.
But I mean, real estate, man, anybody can get in real estate for real, to be honest.
Cause you looking like a rapper, but they don't know you really flipping houses.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? The image is the same, but you know what I'm saying? The hustle ain't.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And to be honest, bro, like I kind of look at it like the rap game. Like I study it a lot as far as like I said, like Nipsey, you got Yo Gotti, who else I be on? Dolph, Long Live Dolph. You know what I'm saying? So I study them and I see how they process is and understanding like your value and your worth. So that's where I'm at now. Like I'm growing as an individual, so you know it's time to kick in. Like everything got to go up.
That's real.
Prices is going up.
That's real. So what's some of the other investments you working on? What else is new? What else you working on?
Man, right now, so I'm working on doing my first new build, new construction, just straight up from the ground.
That's from the ground, right? You
Yeah.
bought the land.
Yeah. So I'm working on doing that. I'm in the process of buying the land for it. Hopefully all that stuff work out, but I talked to my man, so we should be straight on that. And furthermore though, like everything I'm doing this year, like I ain't even in this year right now. I'm in 2023, you feel me? So really next year I'm gonna be 30, and what I'm trying to do is like have goddamn apartment complexes and stuff like that. So I'm scaling all the way up. That's what this whole year about.
That's real. So let me ask you this, right? Is it easier or is the flip bigger when you buy the land and build straight up versus just buying the property that's already on land?
Location. You feel me?
Location, yeah.
Location. So you can find a little plot in the hood and you can build that house up. It ain't gonna cost as much because it's gonna cost the same as it would somewhere else, but it ain't gonna have that same value.
Yeah.
Versus if it was like somewhere else, like Atlanta versus Augusta. If I can build the same house, but it's gonna be different value because of the location. You feel me?
Yeah, I feel you on that.
So that's the main thing. Like if you can find the land in the right location and build it up, you straight.
That's a double win right there.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
This play I'm looking at right now, the joint it's like at least 80K. You know what I'm saying? Cap. If I can go ahead and get that joint built.
Yeah, That's real. So was it easier flipping the houses or being a landlord?
Flipping is easy, and flipping my passion though. You know what I'm saying? Like people always like, oh, you need to hire somebody, but I ain't gonna hire nobody because I like being hands-on. I really like enjoy watching it go from like shit to gold. You know what I'm saying? Like turning nothing into something. That's like I love that shit. But being a landlord, it's great. Now I'm a landlord, like I'm third person. I used to be the landlord. I used to go to the crib and everybody knew I was having rentals, so everybody just hit me up. But then that get aggravating because, you know what I'm saying, a lot of people know me in the city, and when they tap in, they like, hey, you got anything for rent? I'm like, I might, but you don't really want to rent to nobody that you personally know, so now I just do it third person. Like, I just run a business.
That's real. Any last words and shout outs?
Last words, man. Shout out to some of my home team. My boy Maul Trapped Out. My boy Zach, the Home Loan Plug. My brother and sister Todd Laura with Augusta Real Estate Co. Shout out to them. Shout out to Watchers Unlimited. My boy Ish and Alex over there. And shit, shout out to the city, man. And long live Ray Ray.
For sure, man.
And Sadie's.
Real Estate Roddy. We appreciate you having me today, gang.
Appreciate it, my brother.
No doubt.
Pocket full of Rizaks, about to go and get some more today. When you doing big shit, little nigga, they supposed to hate. When you doing